FA Cup final. And Hatchin! What a magnificent goal!
Good evening and welcome to All Things Sky Blue match preview, our away game against Middlesbrough on Tuesday. Obviously, we have got a game beforehand against West Brom on Saturday not under the lights, but live on Sky. Again, so hopefully we can get the 3 points. Just remember where you can find us. It is scrolling down on the ticker down below. We are available on X, which people know and listen to us on a Sunday night on our X space. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. If you watch us, please go and like and subscribe. If you listen to us on a podcast, please go and rate us 5 stars. We are available on all platforms, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else that you get your podcasts from. We are sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications. His logo's in the corner. He can do your steel fabrication work up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. We're partnered with the Sky Blue Tavern and Dylan's Brewery, and we've also teamed up with Sports Social Podcast Network and Sky and Friends Dog Walking and Pet Sitting Services. So, without further ado, let me bring my co-host and my normal guest in with me, Mark Smith. Good evening, Mark. How are you?
Hi, Stuart. Yeah, hi everyone. Yep, good. Thanks yourself.
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Not too bad. So, last time out, mate, we beat Stoke at their place before the international break. 1-0 victory. Mason Clark with an absolute brilliant wonder strike. I believe you were there. How was the game for you? Did you expect to win? Because there were little bits that we were under the cosh for a little bit, but good defending and obviously that wonder strike as well by Mason Clark.
I wish I was there, but I wasn't.
Oh, was you not? Oh, okay.
No, I wish I was. No, I thought it was a brilliant win, a really, really good performance. To play Stoke, I think we were second at the time at the start of the game. I was quite happy. I think I said in the previous show or whenever, or the space that I'd be happy with a point. But I thought the longer the game went on, it was always a game of who can defend the best. And yes, it was a brilliant strike from Ephraim Mason Clark. But defensively, we were fantastic that game. I look at Jay Da Silva's performance. He put in a really important tackle. I think it was on Silva Thomas when he was sort of running through in that second half.
Yeah, which
probably saved a certain goal. I thought their best chance was from a cross wide on the left, and I think it's Manhoff. It just hits him on the sort of the chest, and it fortunately for us, it just the chance gets spurned. And yeah, I thought overall it was a really, really good win. I thought it was a good performance. It's always going to be a difficult game at Stoke. We lost to them last season, so it feels like a really big 3 points. And yeah, we're going into the break. Obviously, now we've got a couple of games ahead of us now, not too far away. And it's great to have a 5-point lead from second at Middlesbrough and 7 points clear of third. So things are looking really rosy at the moment. But obviously, we all know it's a long season. There's a lot of work to do to go. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and we're doing that. So players deserve a lot of credit. But now the hard work starts again, starting with West Brom, and obviously, we'll talk about the Middlesbrough game in this show tonight. Yeah,
we, against Middlesbrough especially, if anybody's their bogey side, it is us. We will talk about it briefly as well when our guest joins us shortly. But in the past 6, we've won 5 of them, and we've only drew 1 in the past 6. So, we have got the edge over. And what's going to be interesting is, are they going to have a new manager in place? Obviously, Rob Edwards has been sacked. He's gone. Kim Hallberg looks like he is taking over the role at Middlesbrough. He turned down Swansea, I believe. and it looks like that he's on his way to Middlesbrough. Again, I don't know much about him. I don't know if you do. We'll see if Steve, the Middlesbrough guest, knows anything about him. I'm sure he's done his research, so we'll get a bit more of an insight on that. Looks like they've got a few injuries as well, so we'll just want to confirm that with him as well. Before we do bring the guest in, before he does join us, we have got Middlesbrough, so we don't know what's going to happen if we've got any other injuries and stuff like that as well. But Mason Clark looks like that he's going to be okay by all reports. It was just a bit of precautionary concussion that he had. Donny looks like he might be back. Hopefully he's back on the bench, which I think will be a big boost. But apart from that, I think international-wise, Haji Wright has always, he's from the USA. So regardless, unless he's playing England at Wembley, he's always going to have a bit of a long flight and it's always going to be up in the air. De Silva played in Wales, played 90 minutes as well. And 2 good games, I thought, for De Silva in the international. The big one obviously came last night against, I can't remember who they were playing now.
North Macedonia, I believe.
North Macedonia, yeah, sorry, yeah. And they won 7-1, so it was quite a convincing win. And De Silva got an assist. I'm going to give him the assist for it, definitely. But yeah, so how do you feel about the international break? Are you happy that everyone's back, relatively unscathed? Because Asante as well played for Ghana. I think he got 60 minutes, I think. Wright got 60 minutes against the USA. I can't remember what Asante got. But are you happy that everyone's come back unscathed? Obviously.
Well, I mean, in Haji Wright's case, he's been jet lagged for the last month, hasn't he? Because he hasn't really been performing for us for a while.
That's right.
So
yeah.
I think personally, I mean, before the Middlesbrough game at West Brom, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if Sims maybe gets a start on that one. And it'd be interesting to see what happens after that. I think what I would say, that what we have to be tread caution on is, yes, we have got players coming back, but we've also got players that are on 4 yellows. That, obviously we lost Milan in the Wrexham game, but I think, if memory serves me right, I think Liam Kitchen's on 4 yellows.
Yeah, I think Torp as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and I think even Haji Wright might be on 4 yellows. So I think
could be, yeah.
There's a few players. I think we have to be careful. We've got 4 games, I think, until the game 9. I think once game 19 is over with. So yes, we've got a fairly clean bill of health. We've got Lati Baudier, who I think was in the Jamaica squad, or he's certainly back from injury anyway. So he is a backup defender. So we look like we've got a pretty, you'd like to think a full clean bill of health really going to the game, which is massive. Yeah. But we have to be careful with the players on yellow cards, and that's a slight danger for me. That's I'm slightly concerned about, because you look at the next few games. We've got West Brom, Borough, I think it's Charlton. Who we got after that? I think it's Ipswich and Preston. So they're not, none of those. I mean, I think we're playing teams that, with the exception of West Brom, that are around the top half of the table, who are doing quite well. So Borough's going to be a really, really difficult game. We have got a good record there, as you know. We've had some really good results there. So it's certainly not a ground we fear, but like in any game of football, you've got to be on it. You've got to perform, and I'm sure if we do that, we'll get the result.
Yeah, and obviously it's starting to come to the silly season again. Obviously, January transfer window opens shortly. We've been linked with, I think, about 3 players already. One is meant to be happening. It's just about dates and stuff and when he can maybe sign. And that's from Sweden's FC Melby. I can't remember his name now. His name's just gone out of my head. Remind me of his name, Mark.
No, I don't either, no.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. He's a forward player anyway. I think with reports that I've seen that he plays as one of the number 10s, because they play with 2 number 10s. He plays as a number 10. He can play as a forward as well, not necessarily a wide man. So it will be interesting to see if we do get him, because there are rumours that he's been linked with Stoke as well as I think Bournemouth have taken a look at him. But he's young, I think he's raw, and that's exactly what Lampard, I think, will love. We've also been linked with hat-trick hero Troy Parrott that I've seen as well, that we've had links with him as well. So my question to you, Mark, is how many do you think we need, and do you think we'll get anybody that we've been linked with?
I think we need. I'd like a backup player for Ephraim Mason-Clark. I know you can play Thomas Asante in that position, but I think Thomas Asante is doing well. His best form has been through the centre, isn't it? So it was a number 10-ish kind of position. So yeah. I think we'd like be nice to have some sort of proper competition for his spot. He's a bit prone to injury as well, so I think that's a position I would like to look at. I don't think we've got a quality backup left back to Jay Da Silva. I know we've got Jake Bidwell, and we've got the Spanish player from Granada. I keep forgetting his blooming name. I should know it. But Brow, yeah, Angel Brow. Is it Brow? Yeah,
yeah.
But Brow is, I mean, clearly Lampard doesn't fancy him because he just doesn't get an opportunity to play. He preferred Bidwell for the Wrexham game, so he's obviously quite. And I thought Bidwell was very poor against Wrexham personally. He was very poor against Kabore, their right winger, who was pacey and tore him to shreds a lot. So I think we need that quality backup left back would be nice. I can't give you names on who we should get, but that's the position I would look to strengthen. Matty Grimes' position as well. I think he's an integral part of our success. Have we got a quality backup player to him? Possibly not. I think Alan has done okay this season. He's done a decent job. He never lets the team down. But is he in that Matty Grimes class? Probably not. I mean, obviously you could say, well, we had Ben Sheaf, but Ben Sheaf was a different situation. He wanted first team football, and you weren't going to get it with us. And Wrexham, you're not going to turn down $6.5 million. So I think a decent. I think that's probably the three areas I'd strengthen. Maybe the only other position I could look at is the striker position that you've just brought up as well. Because yes, we've got Hadji Wright and we've got Ellis Sims, and maybe you could play Thomas Asante as a striker. But I just feel maybe another player just to get a bit more competition would be good as well. So I'd probably say four positions in answer to your question.
Okay, that forward is Abdoulaye Manaha. I don't know. I've probably absolutely butchered his name, but that's Mane or something like that. Anyway, Manneh. So yeah, he's a forward from Malby, and he's Swedish. So I think he knows Dovin as well. And Dovin, come January, Dovin might be back as well. So it'll be interesting in terms of what he does with the goalkeeping situation there as well. So, is there anything else that you want to talk about before we get the guest in?
I'm just looking at Abdoulaye Mane. I think he scored. So, looking at his stats at the moment, I think he scored 9 goals in 49 appearances for Meow. I think it's Meowby, if that's the right
Malby,
player.
yeah, it is, yeah.
Meowby. Which I wouldn't say is impressive, but look, let's see what happens in January. It might be a load of codswallop up, and but if it is true, then obviously clearly, Dean Austin has seen something in him, as well as Frank Lampard, to make him think that he might be worthy of playing for us. So you have to trust their judgment on that one, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and obviously there has been there's been the Cambridge midfielder as well that apparently has been training with Carv and Lampard has been taking a look at him. Bamford never happened. He came training with us, and then obviously he's signed for Sheffield United. They just seem to sign absolutely everybody, don't they? It's ridiculous. So desperate, definitely. Right, let's bring our guest in. Good evening, Dicko. How are you?
Hi, Dicko.
Evening, lads. You all right, Mark? Stu?
I'm right. Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How you doing?
Good. Not too bad at all.
Good. Lovely. So let's get straight into it then. Has he signed yet, Kim Hellberg, or does it look like AD Vivash is still taking the role at the moment?
They're still trying to get him over the line. I think Kim Hellberg, it's all but done. Just the final bits of the deal to do, getting his backroom staff over and things like that. He needs a work permit, apparently.
Okay.
The information I'm hearing is that obviously AD Vivash, who you guys know very well, will take the team at Oxford on Saturday.
Yep.
I think Hellberg will get done and probably announced either over the weekend or possibly early next week, maybe Monday. I personally don't see Hellberg being in charge for the Coventry game either.
Okay.
I think he may be announced before then. He may be at the game, but I still think AD Vivash will probably take charge against Coventry, and I think they'll look to bring Hellberg in for the game on the following Saturday at home to Derby. Now, that isn't an easy game either by any stretch because Derby are doing well at the moment, but if you bring a new manager in, you're looking for him to get off to a good start. I can think of better games to get off to a good start than you guys, to be honest, because you've got the Indian sign on Middlesbrough at the moment. You know, if late, Coventry all seem to nick a result against the Borough. So I think the hierarchy at Middlesbrough will be looking at that Derby game to bring Hellberg in.
Okay, fair enough. Obviously, Rob Edwards went to Wolves. I kind of understand it to a certain extent, but I don't like it. I understand it, but I don't like it. I suppose you guys are you still sort of feeling it a little bit, and are you gutted that he's gone?
I personally was gutted that he went because I was a huge fan of Rob Edwards. A lot of Middlesbrough fans, when he was touted to come to the club, were split 50-50. I like the guy. I like what he brings to a football club, the togetherness. And that's why it's been so devastating for Middlesbrough fans from the outside looking in. And you understand that, oh, well, what's the problem? And a manager's left the football club. So what? He's went to the Premier League. He's going to get more money. He's, he likes to think he's a Wolves legend, but he's not really, is he? But, you know, he's an ex-Wolves player. You know, he's been a coach there in the past. However, if you're actually inside, you know, the structure and the fan base of Middlesbrough Football Club, we were broken when Michael Carrick left us, and we needed somebody to come in and give us a real lift. The crowds were going to drop and plummet. We were on a real downer. And Rob Edwards come in, and he wasn't the most popular choice, but what he done was he galvanised the club. He came straight in and said, we're a family, we're going to be together, we're a team. I remember pre-season, I went up to Glasgow Rangers. We took 7,000 up to Glasgow Rangers. At the end of the game, he was nearly in tears. He said he's never seen a support like it in his life. He went to the away end, said he was emotional. You know, he had an attachment straight away at the fan base. We've got a section behind our goal called the Red Faction, which you guys probably seen in the playoff game where the noise is. He went and met the Red Faction, went to the local pub, met the Red Faction, went around the fan bases, drinking with them, talking to them, saying what he wanted to do, what he wanted from the fans to be together. At the end of the games, he went around the whole stadium, every single game, win or lose, shook every hand, clapped every fan in the ground, home and away. And then there was a moment we played Preston away, and one of our players, Morgan Whittaker, at the time was getting a little bit of stick off the fans. He got substituted, and there was a few jeers when he went off. And at the end of the game, Rob Edwards was like, we don't do that here. We're a family. We don't jeer our own. And he gave the fans a little bit of a rocket. Now, that was a real, you know, it was a risk by a new Middlesbrough manager at the time to tell the fans what to do and what not to do. Yeah. But he took that on. And because the fans had taken to him, he got away with that. And the fans embraced him. And at the next game, they gave Morgan Whittaker, love and support and cheers at the next game. And it all worked out for the best. So when we were linked with Rob Edwards leaving the football club, we thought, he's not going to leave us. Not after this. He's only been here 2 minutes. And we've got a draw against Leicester on his last game, and we scored in the last minute with Luke Ayling. And he went running up and down the touchline, leaping around with his hands in the air, cuddling the coaches, went to the wee end and took his applause. So even then, even though he hadn't dismissed it in the press conference, we thought, there's no way this guy's leaving us. He's all in. You'd look ridiculous to leave now. And what's he going to? A team that's going to be relegated at the end of the season. Why would he risk his reputation as a manager to do that? So that's the backstory of why the Middlesbrough fans were really, really angry with losing the manager. And also, as I say, especially when we're sitting, we were sitting third in the league when Rob Edwards was here.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a weird one. So, what? Obviously, I'm sure you've done your research on Kim coming in. What's he going to bring to Middlesbrough? What are you expecting?
Well, that's the thing. He is a hugely unknown quantity to us over here. You know, the backstory is he's a young coach. He's been coaching for about 15 years. He's only 37, and he done a great job through the Swedish leagues. Got himself to the top league in Sweden and took over a team called IFK Värnamo, who were favourites for relegation. They'd just been promoted and were favourites for relegation, and he came in and took them over, and he got them to 10th in the league and mid-table and survived comfortably. Following season gets him to 5th, does really well. Bigger club comes knocking. Hammarby goes there, gets them to 2nd in the top division 2 years in a row. And then he's got a style of football, apparently, that's very good on the eye. High pressing, attractive football. You know, his teams score a lot of goals. So massively sought after around Europe. Looked like he was going to go to Swansea. Looked all done and dusted to go to Swansea. Yeah. Middlesbrough have obviously come in late. Had talks with him as well, and he's decided to come to the Borough. So, yeah, it's one of those. Wait and see. I wouldn't say it's an exciting appointment. Some Middlesbrough fans might think it is. I don't think it's exciting. It's not a big name. It's not somebody that we know, like a Frank Lampard at your job, you know. But it's certainly an intriguing appointment. It's an interesting appointment, and it's a different appointment for Middlesbrough Football Club because we've went abroad, and other than Aitor Karanka a decade ago, Middlesbrough don't usually go down that route. So it is an intriguing one. And, you then start to think, by looking at Kim Hellberg's style of play, it looks different to Rob Edwards. Now, is he going to come in and try and chop and change things straight away? Or is he going to just come in and tweak things with Eddie Vivash? Because one thing Middlesbrough have done this season under Rob Edwards is we defend very, very well. We don't score a lot of goals, but we defend really, really well. We've got a great back four, back five. Now, Kim Hellberg likes to be on the front foot, high press and scoring goals. His team do defend well, apparently, but in a different way to what we do now. So how he's going to tweak that, and that's why I think a lot of Middlesbrough fans are delighted that Middlesbrough made the decision to keep Eddie Vivash and have that old head, have the wise old owl alongside him saying, you need to think about how we're going to change this, And to be fair as well, if you look at it now, the international breaks came and gone, thank God, because I hate these international breaks. It's came and gone. So we've now got till March, until the next international break. So you're going to have games coming thick and fast midweek Saturday for a long time now. So I can't really see him getting a lot of time to coach the players in that time on the grass, because it'll be rest, recuperation, game. So we'll wait and see. It might be a bit slowly until we see Kim Hellberg's Middlesbrough playing the way he wants.
Yeah, and do you expect, obviously he'll want to bring his own people in, do you still expect Eddie Vivash to be there until the end of the season? Do you think he's going to keep him?
Oh yes, it's already been, Middlesbrough have already said Eddie Vivash, Eddie Vivash will be assistant manager, along with, I think he's bringing his own coach in, Cellini, I think is a young lad. He's only about 27 or 28 or something, who he had with him at Hammarby. So Middlesbrough had two coaches alongside Rob Edwards, and Rob Edwards has taken a coach from Middlesbrough to Wolves. So there was one space available. So Hellberg will come in, bring his own coach in, but absolutely Eddie Vivash is really, really highly thought of by Steve Gibson at the club.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Okay, so going on to our game then. You haven't got the best history against us. If anybody's got a bogey team for us to be a bogey team, it's you guys. As I mentioned to Mark earlier, the last 6, Coventry have won 5, withdrew 1, and you haven't won a single one. And obviously that includes the playoff semi-final a few years ago as well. The thing with this season, though, which is slightly different, is the fact that you haven't lost yet at home.
No.
Now we have lost one away. We lost against Wrexham a few games, but we've bounced back since then. What have you been doing, sort of under Rob Edwards, if you like, an AD, that's got you so successful?
Well, as I said earlier on, we're built on a good foundation. Like yourselves, how you've got Carl Rushworth, we've got a really good young goalkeeper as well in Sol Bryn. And I'll make a bold prediction. Carl Rushworth and Sol Bryn in a few years' time could be pushing for an England squad. I think they're both very, very good goalkeepers. Now, we're built on that foundation of defence and goalkeeper. We've got a real solid, back four, back five, whichever way you want to look at it. We've got the experience of Luke Ayling, I thought he was finished. His legs had gone when he was playing at fullback, but he's coming into a back three, and it's revived his career. And he's a winner, and he's a leader, and he's really stepped up his game. We've got Dale Fry, who's a Colossus local lad at the back. Two signings that we did bring under Rob Edwards that have worked really well is Matt Targett from Newcastle on loan and Callum Britton from Blackburn, who have signed. They've been tremendous at fullback. We've got the midfield of Aidan Morris, USA international, and our best player, which is Hayden Hackney, who's obviously decided to stay at Middlesbrough. Yeah. That's a real good foundation to build any team on. After that, that's where we sort of struggle. We've got a lot of good players in forward areas. We've thankfully just got Riley McGree back, who's a really good footballer. He's obviously going to be integral for the rest of the season for if he can keep himself fit. He's a really good player. He's just come back fit. He'll come into the team. But then the problem is up front, we haven't got the dynamic right of do we play with two strikers? Do we play with one behind the striker? Do we change it and go to a 4-2-3-1 like yourselves at times? But we've got some good players in Tommy Conway, who for whatever reason works hard, but he just can't hit the back of the net. He's missed more one-on-ones this season than any other player. Wow. We've got David Strelec, who's Slovakia's main striker, who we've spent £8 million on. He's been in and out the team, struggling to settle. We've got Sfera Napan, who we've signed from Man City on loan.
I like Napan. Yeah,
really good player, but he hasn't really done it yet in the Middlesbrough shirt, bits and bobs, in and out the team, hasn't really settled properly yet. We've got Callie Sen, who we've signed in the summer, scored a couple of goals, but again, in and out the team. And that's going to be the conundrum for Kim Hellberg to solve with Eddie Vivash, to get how we're going to get a formation, how we're going to get these players who are good. They're all good players, no doubt about it. They're all good players. They just haven't gelled yet as a unit in a front four or a front three, and that's the problem we've got to solve. But at home, we're still doing enough to nick games because we're back five or back four, and we're two midfielders are as good as anything in the division.
Yeah,
and so we're not going to concede many goals at home. We haven't looked like. There's no team come to the Riverside yet and looked like beating Middlesbrough. We've had some close games against Birmingham, against West Brom, against Ipswich. We've had some real close games, but no team has outplayed Middlesbrough at the Riverside yet.
Yeah, well, obviously you're yet to play us, so I'm sure we'll do. I'm joking.
No, it's a fair comment, and I'd be joking if I said I wasn't worried about playing Coventry. It's one of those. Is it a good time to play Middlesbrough without the manager settling in yet, or are you going to find the Riverside absolutely jumping like it was the last game we played? It's probably going to be it's going to be 30 plus thousand against Coventry. It's going to be jumping. The new manager may be announced by then. The fans are going to be right behind the team. We're playing Coventry to free hit. He's atop of the league. Can we go and upset the league leaders who are scoring goals for fun with an attacking talent that is blowing the division away? Can Middlesbrough go and do a Middlesbrough thing and go and get a victory against Coventry? It's a real intriguing game. It really is.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Mark, any questions for Dicko?
I guess the only thing I can think of is that although as bad as it was, Rob Edwards going, I for one think it was a terrible thing what he did, because if I was a Middlesbrough fan, I would be feel completely betrayed and all that. So I just want to make that point clear. But do you think that this could actually be in a way, a turning point in a good way. It galvanised the team and the fans, because you look at the last game, last home game they won, and ADV, that's the way he celebrated. It tells you a lot of things. And I think, for me, I don't know what your thoughts are, but I don't think this decision of Rob Edwards going is going to make any impact on Middlesbrough season. I still think, in my opinion, they're going to be up there this season. Do you still feel that, share that view as well? Or?
I still feel, that we're going to be in and around it, because it has galvanised the fan base again, because of such was the anger at the Rob Edwards leaving. It's pulled the fan base together again. Certainly against Birmingham, it did. The stadium was alive from kick-off right at the end of the game. And not just that, we've got good players. Like Coventry, yeah. We have got good players that are top-end championship players right through the squad. We've got good subs on the bench, same as Coventry, to bring on and change games, game changers. I was just looking at the Coventry squad again today, and you've got like Jack Radoni to come back. You've got Ellis Sims on the bench. You guys are scoring goals for fun, So I do think we're capable of staying there. We just need to solve that conundrum of getting a few more goals in the team. You've got January coming up as well for the new manager, of course, where he can tweak things. Steve Gibson, I know for a fact, he'll offer more money to Kim Hellberg to bring in maybe a couple of his own type of players, maybe a bit more pace, probably like a little bit of pace. He probably wants to bring a bit of pace, and he likes to play with wide men, does Hellberg apparently. So you might want to bring a bit more pace in the Middlesbrough side. So I do expect Middlesbrough to stay in and around the top teams in the division without a shadow of a doubt. I'll be massively disappointed if we don't. There's no reason to suggest that we would drop off. I mean, if anything, we were actually going on a downward spiral under Rob Edwards slightly if you look at the results.
Yes, I did notice them. Yeah,
we started off really well and we couldn't score goals. We started to stutter a bit and draw games, and we scored a few late equalisers to bring defeat into a draw. But we haven't really been firing on all cylinders for a while under Rob Edwards. So I'm hoping we're going to get a double manager bounce. That would be nice.
Yeah.
I think what I would say though is if there's any team that could beat us, it could be someone like ADV Vash as a manager, because he knows the players very well with Cov. He did a really, really good job. He's a really good coach, and I think for Middlesbrough to keep his service, I think is massive, because yes, Rob Edwards is a loss, but it's not just about one person. It's about how you work as a team of coaches as much as the 11 players out there who perform week in, week out. And I think keeping Vivash is massive for Borough, because if he'd have gone to Wolves and followed Rob Edwards, I think that would be more of a problem. But I think with him still at the helm, he knows the players, so I don't think it's as big a loss as what people might think. So I'm still worried about this game as a Coventry fan, but I'm always a bit half glass half empty in my case. But anyway, I'll let Stuart carry on. I want to lead the show.
I'm loving the loving on social media between the Coventry Middlesbrough fans. It's quite funny at the moment. I think there's a little bit of a respect between both clubs. I think if Coventry didn't go up, I think a lot of fans of Coventry would, if they could pick a team to go up instead of them, would pick Middlesbrough and vice versa. I think we're two big clubs that have been out the top flight for far too long. We've got good fan bases, passionate fans. I think Coventry fans got their eyes opened how big Middlesbrough is as a club and can be as a club in that playoff game, even though Coventry won it.
Well,
and Middlesbrough fans the same when we went down to your stadium. So I think there's a lot of respect for both clubs, between the fan base, and whatever Middlesbrough do, Coventry just have to keep going one better, don't they?
Well, what I would say though, I went to the Riverside, that playoff semi-final, and the atmosphere before obviously we won, but before
it was amazing.
It was probably the best atmosphere I've been to as an away supporter. And that just shows potential Middlesbrough. And likewise for us, we're getting crowds of 30,000 at the CBS Arena. And, compared to where we were in like League One, League Two, we were getting like, 7,000, 8,000. It's pathetic. Whereas now, 30,000, it's a really good atmosphere. And, expect to be a good atmosphere winning games of football. Why not? But Middlesbrough, likewise, for that playoff game, was probably the best atmosphere I've been to as an away fan. It was just electric. And I think you're right, Dicko. I think both clubs are big football clubs. I'd be more happy if we went up, if Middlesbrough went up as well. And it'd be ironic if Stoke went up as the third team, because you got Mark Robbins, your ADV Vash, all two ex-Coventry employees. That would be it would be ironic if that did happen this season. But let's see.
Yeah, definitely.
It'd be upsetting if Wolves went the other way, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I know. Yeah. Right. Just talking about your injuries. Obviously, you've mentioned Devil Fry. Now, I looked earlier on today about your injuries and players that are out. Now, you may know better. They may be back. But Darryl Fry was one that that sparked up that he's back late November. Matt Targett, Abdullah Kante, Darragh Lenihan, and Sonny Dieng. Are they likely to be back? Are they back now and fully fit?
To be fair, that the only two that would matter anyway would be Matt Targett and Dale Fry. Now, Dale Fry is a huge miss to it. He's our captain. He's a local lad, superb player. He was doubtful for the last game against Birmingham, but he wanted to play and put himself out there onto the pitch for 85 Ash, and he played and he scored the first goal, then went off injured. Now, how much he's recovered, we don't know. Will he make? Well, it's the press conference. It's a press conference tomorrow for 85 Ash, so we'll probably find out if Dale Fry is going to be available tomorrow for the Oxford game. I don't know if he's trained this week. I don't know. We have got cover there. If he doesn't make it, we have got decent players. We've got Alfie Jones, who's just made his debut for Canada last night. He plays there. Luke Ayling can play there. Matt Targett, he was suffering with a foot injury. He had stitches in his foot from the Leicester game. Now I would expect Matt Targett to be fit for Saturday against Oxford. I haven't heard anything to the contrary about that. So I think the only one I would say is probably a doubt for Coventry as it stands would be Dale Fry.
Okay. All right, sound.
The other players, with the greatest of respect, don't really feature at the moment. So it's irrelevant.
What's happened to Sonny Dieng? Because I liked him because he's a goalkeeper, isn't he? And I liked him as a goalkeeper. As your goalkeeper. Has he just been overtaken by Bryn? Because again, Bryn is a very good goalkeeper as well. And with what I've seen of him, he looks a very talented boy. Is it literally just competition because Sonny Dieng's injured and he's just taken it?
Well, Sonny Dieng started off okay at Middlesbrough, done all right. He was signed by Carrick because he likes to play out from the back with his feet. Took a lot of chances. Middlesbrough fans used to heart in the mouth of them, to be honest, that we used to play out from the back. And then Sol Bryn come in last season, overtook him, come into the team after some errors by Sonny Dieng. And Sol Bryn come in, it looked like he was going to make the position his own, was superb. And then he dislocated his shoulder. After a few games, he dislocated his shoulder and was out for the rest of this last season. And Sonny Dieng got back in, but then got an injury himself. And Sonny Dieng's been injured since then. Worked his way back to fitness this pre-season. But Sol Bryn's been fit, played pre-season, done very well. Started the season off like a house on fire. He's such a cool, calm goalkeeper that doesn't get hassled. He's just a cool customer. Brilliant with his feet, really good with his distribution. Excellent on crosses. He's like an old school goalkeeper where if he can catch it, he'll catch it.
Yeah.
He doesn't come punching every cross. If he can catch it, the ball's caught, relieves the pressure. He's not the greatest shot stopper I've ever seen in the world, but he's a decent shot stopper. But I think he's got a real good future. I think there'll be a few Premiership teams looking at Sol Bryn next season if Middlesbrough don't get promoted.
Yeah, well, you never know. If we go up and Richard goes back to Brighton, we might be looking for a new one. We've got Oliver Dovin coming back, but we don't know how well he's going to come back. So, it will be an interesting one. Any questions for us, Dicko?
Basically, I was just looking at the fixtures, actually, to see what you guys think, because everybody's focusing on the Middlesbrough game, but I was looking at the next. I go in blocks of 6, and I was looking, can this Coventry team be caught? Because statistically, you don't concede many goals. You've scored 40 goals. I was looking through some of your stats where your players. Torp's got 6 goals. Hadji Wright's got 8. Sante's got 10. Middlesbrough. Our top scorers here in Hackney with 3. And I was just looking at it. We're still on your coattails, despite you flying away with all these goals and this, that, and the other. We're still not too far away, and obviously that makes the game on Tuesday against Coventry intriguing of who's going to come out on top. But the next 6 games, I was looking, Middlesbrough, they've got Oxford away, Coventry at home. Then we've got Derby at home, Hull away, Charlton away, and QPR at home. And I was looking at Coventry's next 6, West Brom, which is tricky at home, Middlesbrough away, which could be tricky. And you've got Charlton at home, Ipswich away, which is tough, Preston away, which is really tough, and then Bristol City at home. So, this league, you know what it's like. It can suddenly twist and turn with 2 or 3 results. I think if your Coventry side can come out of the next 6 games and still be top of the division, if I was a Coventry City fan, I'd be really confident that we can stay in that top 2.
Yeah, I
But
think
do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think at the moment, yes, we're in a good position, and we're doing well, but it's a long way to go yet this season. What I was saying earlier is that what my biggest fear is we've got quite a few players on 4 yellow cards, so particularly at the back as well. I think Kitchen's got 4 yellows. I think Bobby Thomas, correct me if I'm wrong, Stewart might be on 4 as well. So there's a couple of players there that Hadji Wright's on 4 yellows. So yes, we're doing well, and we have got a good squad. We've got a clean bill of health in terms of no injuries, really. But yeah, the games aren't easy. They're tough games. But with what I can say is we've gone to Stoke. We won at Stoke. We went to Leicester, and we got a good point there. And we have generally done pretty well in the bigger games. Obviously, we've got to play Middlesbrough, yeah, of course. I just think this season is just a shift in mentality of his squad. He's Frank Lampard for me is really improved the players of what we've got. Victor Torp has been immense this season. Thomas Asante probably been our player of the season. He's been brilliant. Jada Silva, who's now a Wales international, is starting games for Wales, and I think a lot of that, obviously, Jada Silva himself has to take a lot of the credit for that, but also the coaching staff. So he's really improved what we've got, and I just think if we can keep that core of players fit and no suspensions, then I think we can have a really good season.
Do you fear any Premiership interest in January for players like Radonis or Thomas Asante? Because there's always the chances where, like that with Middlesbrough, with Hayden Hackney, 1 or 2 others. Do you fear Premiership come sniffing in January?
Well, I don't personally. I think if we do fall away a bit, then maybe, but not at the moment.
I think not at the moment, no. But I know that West Ham are sniffing around Hadji Wright, apparently, by reports. Torp hasn't really been anything on Torp, but we've had Radoni out for the past 2 months, who is arguably our best player, and we're still top of the league and scoring the goals without Radoni. So Radoni should hopefully, touch wood, be back on the bench against West Brom. So there might be a chance that he's back on the bench against you, or even start against you.
Yeah, that's it. That's the Borough look. Yeah, that's why I call it. This is why we call the podcast Typical Borough. He's been out, he's been missing, he's done nothing, he's been away doing nothing for weeks, injured. He ripped Middlesbrough apart the last time we played you last day of the season 2-0, ripped us apart, and of course, he's going to be back fit for the Borough game, isn't he? He
might be. But yeah, there's definitely Premier League interest in, Milan as well, our right back. Thomas, I think Bobby Thomas was linked with Sheffield United when we were linked with Charlie Hughes from Hull. So that was a bit of a merry-go-round in that one, but nothing came of it. I can't see anybody wanting to leave. I think we're going to add in January by all reports and links that are going on our end as well. So I think we'll strengthen. But yeah, like Mark said a minute ago, it's every game's tough. And we just, me personally, I'm trying not to get too carried away. I'm enjoying the ride, however long it lasts. Because like you mentioned, three losses, which could easily happen. And, we're sitting just in the playoff position. We're out the top 2. So I think Lampard is different to Mark Robins just because he knows what it takes to get to that level. He's played at the highest level in the biggest games for England and for his club. And I think he's maybe more of a level-headed coach, and he'll know how to word things and what to say to them at the right times, where, Robins was never really in that position, even though we got promoted and stuff. He's never really played at that top level. I know he played for United and things like that as well, but Lampard played at a completely different level to what Robins did, and more recently as well. So for me, I think we've got the perfect manager in knowing how to cope with these different levels.
But I think to add to that, I think it's not just about the manager. It's as I said earlier, it's about a team of coaches. It's the backroom staff. You've got people. You get that someone like Dr. Claire Marie Roberts. You may not know who she is.
Yeah.
You know, psychologists, things like that play a big part of getting the players mentally ready for every game. So I think you got to give obviously the coaching staff, but people like Dr. Claire Marie Roberts has got to give credit. I think on the main, Dean Austin has done a reasonably good job. He's got one or two wrong, but I think with every club have good and bad signings. That's just part and parcel. You're not going to get everything right, otherwise we wouldn't be playing this division. So, but overall, yeah, things are good, going well. But you know, 31 games to go is a lot of. I mean, we've got 34 points. So realistically, if you get, let's say, 20 wins, that's 94 points, and that should get you up. So 20 wins with 31 is definitely doable.
I think Coventry, like Middlesbrough, are also reaping the benefits of Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton. And I'll throw Sheffield United in that mix as well.
Yeah,
having really poor seasons by their standards, teams with parachute payments with Premiership players. It's unusual for 4 teams of that magnitude to all start the season off so poorly. Yeah, and I think Middlesbrough and Coventry have both jumped on the back of that and picked up points off some of those sides as well.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree. Anything else, Mark, for Dicko?
No, nothing more for me, no.
Anything else for us, Dicko?
No, I'm all right, boys. I'm just looking forward to the game on Tuesday. And as I say, I think it'll be a good game. It'll be a crack. And if Middlesbrough don't get beat against Oxford, fingers crossed, and we get at least a point and get the manager done and dusted and over the line, the Riverside will be absolutely bouncing when we play you on Tuesday night, which is going to make for a cracking game because Coventry, as good as you are, have you played in an atmosphere like that for a while? Probably not. Will it have an impact on the game? Probably. Will it be enough? We'll find out.
Yeah, we definitely will. Before I let you go, I like to do quick fire questions.
Should we do predictions as well?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we'll do predictions first. We'll go with you, Mark.
I think it's, for me, the Cov fan, it's like the Stoke game. It's a must-not-lose game. If we get a point, be quite happy with a point. I think the pressure's on Middlesbrough to win, to try and close that gap on us. I think we'll nick it 2-1 though. I'll be positive.
Okay, interesting. Dicko?
Well, I'm hoping you guys get the job done against West Brom. So you go to Middlesbrough with a mindset of it's going to be a tough place to go. It's going to be bouncing. We'll be happy with a point away from home after beating West Brom. And I think that's what I think might happen. I think Middlesbrough, although it would be lovely to catch you up by winning the game, I think Middlesbrough at the moment, without the new manager in yet, with Eri Vivash taking charge, if we can get a win against Oxford, we would probably also be more than happy to take a point against Coventry and not lose. Yeah. So I'm going to go 1-1.
Okay, fair enough. I think if we hadn't have beat Stoke, I think I would have gone for a draw. But because we've beat Stoke and they were sitting second, and they were scoring goals for fun as well before they played us. I just think defensively we're a lot sounder, and going forward we're dangerous, especially if we take our chances. So as long as we take our chances, then I think we're going to edge it 2-1. But don't get me wrong, if you gave me a draw now, I would take it. But I am going to say that we are going to edge it 2-1, the same as Mark as well. But it will be a tough game. I'm not expecting anything like we have in the past. I think last season we won 3-0 in one game. Yeah. So I don't expect anything like that. But it'll be interesting because Radoni might be back as well for that game. So we'll have to wait and see. Go on, Mark.
Plus Borough down to 10 men for that one at Borough, we won.
That's right, yeah.
So that's right.
That helps as well.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so quick fire questions. One-worded answers if you can, Dicko, but don't worry if it goes into a sentence, it's fine. So one player to look out for the rest of the season for you guys.
David Strelitz.
Okay. Where will you finish?
Second.
Okay. Has that changed from when Rob Edwards was there? What would you have said if Rob Edwards was still in charge?
I would have probably said we would drop off to about 4th, 5th.
Right, okay. But second, nice. Where will Cov finish?
1st.
Wow, okay. And one player from Cov you would take?
Radoni. But I'd probably take, to be honest, I'd probably take 4 or 5.
Fair enough. Lovely. Fantastic. So, before I let you go for definite this time, just remind us what you guys do and where we can find you.
Yeah, we're just a fans pod, typical Borough podcast. You can find us on YouTube's main platform, but all the usual listening devices and Spotify and all the rest of those. We're on there. We're on X. You can find the typical Borough podcast on X. We've got our own page on there. We're on Facebook. If you want to see, we're on Facebook, and we obviously put the videos up on there. Podcasts go out every Sunday afternoon. They go out. They're normally on for about an hour. We do get guests on, ex-Middlesbrough players, Middlesbrough journalists, but usually it's just me and my 2 pals who are 3, shall we say, getting on Borough fans who've watched the Borough from Ayson Park to the Riverside, and would tell it like it is. There's no BS, no nonsense. Would tell the truth.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Don't shoot off after recording. We'll have a quick chat after as well, if that's okay. Just remember where you can find us, guys. It is scrolling down at the bottom. We are available on X, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Please go and like and subscribe if you watch us. If you listen to us on a podcast, please go and rate us 5 stars. We're sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications. He can do your steel fabrication up and down the country. We are partnered with the Sky Blue Tavern and Dylan's Brewery. And we are also teamed up with Sports Social Podcast Network and Sky and Friends Dog Walking and Pet Sitting Services. So on that note, thank you very much to my guests that have joined us. Good luck for the rest of the season, obviously apart from our games, Dicko. So, Mark, I will see you tomorrow because we are on our way up to Leeds to Ellen Road because we have been nominated for an FCA Football Content Award and we're up for the best football podcast. So we're going to the awards night on that and I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully we might get some pictures and stuff with some celebrities. We'll see.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Dicko.
Well deserved.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. On that note, play up Sky Blues.